Smiling Friends. Smiling Friends is a surrealist comedy sitcom based on the titular charity organization that aims to make people smile. This simple premise forces the main characters of the show, Pim, Alan, Charlie, and sometimes Gleb and Mr. Boss, into these hysterical and crazy adventures, from helping a princess smile for her portrait while unintentionally saving her from her stalker that may or may not have been inspired by the Bjork stalker incident, to helping an evil scientist reconnect with his brother and unintentionally succeed in his plan to recreate life. All in a fateful attempt to put a smile on people's faces. But think about it for a second. You live in a world where your president either literally hates you or is a complete bonehead and wants you to suffer. Psychopaths and killers are nearly everywhere in this show. There exists an eldritch nightmare of a country called Spamtopia, where the mere act of looking people in the eye earns you the brutal death penalty of being ripped in half. And you will literally go to HE double hockey sticks for saying the word damn. Wow. The Sadness. The Sadness is a Taiwanese horror movie that is going to be the closest thing we will ever get to a cross movie adaptation. And if you know anything about Cross, that should be more than enough information for you to know what you're getting yourself into. The story takes place in a closed-off city of Taiwan, where a couple, Jim and Kat, are separated during the outbreak of the Alvin virus, which is a communicable disease that destroys every moral wall you've built and forces you to act on each and every one of your sick and twisted desires. If you have ever thought about it even once, you will do it whether you like it or not. Theoretically, it's called a sadness because before someone turns, they shed tears because they know what they're about to become and what they're about to do. They know that what they're going to do is wrong, and they don't want to enact on these disgusting desires, but the call of the void is too loud and the virus's push too strong. I will literally carry a bullet in it for myself if I were to ever live in this kind of world, and that's to take myself out, because I would rather go out the quick and painless way than whatever way these sick, sadistic freaks have to take me out in. They can shoot, they can violate, they can torture, and only after everything they put you through will they infect you, so now you will enjoy being a monster like them. Project Moon. Project Moon is a South Korean game development company that created games such as The Library of Ruina, Limbus Company, and Lobotomy Corporation, all of which theoretically exist in the same universe in a place called The City. The City is a hyper-capitalistic dystopia where human rights, freedom, and morale have been traded for technological advancement and science. Life is dictated by these all-powerful mega-corporations called Wings, who themselves are under the ruthless rule of the supreme and enigmatic government called the Head. You are nothing more than disposable labor. You are subject to debt slavery, your body is subject to terrifying experiments, and you are crushed by the boot of poverty wherever you are, and your survival depends on your willingness to sell yourself to the megacorporations or become a violent mercenary called a fixer, who can be just as corrupt and cruel as the Wings. And if you don't make enough money, you're forced into the streets, which is basically an execution. To keep yourself safe, you have to pay protection money to a local fixer office or live in a territory owned by a syndicate where you have to live under strict, harsh rules that you may be killed for breaking even once. And remember how I omitted talking about the secrets of the singularities of the various Wings. In this city, violence is normal, and monsters called distortions are a constant threat. Terror exists in the form of brutal fixer offices, crime syndicates, and the Head's enforcers called claws. Trauma is weaponized, extreme stress or certain phenomena will violently turn you into a monster, and or grant you dangerous powers called ego that destroy both your identity and or sanity. There is no escaping the city, this polluted maze. The Head enforces absolute control, and any attempt at changing the system is brutally eliminated. Hope is actively crushed, and uttering the word safety earns you a laugh and a spit. Haneda Village from Haneda is a small Japanese village located in the mountains of the Misumi County in the XX prefecture of Japan, and it is the main setting for both Siren, Siren Bloodcurse, and Forbidden Siren. It is a village that was cut off from the world during an earthquake and is trapped in a never-ending loop after a failed ritual. A fanatical cult wants to resurrect an old god, the Datatsushi, by drowning the world in the Red Sea, using the villagers as both willing and unwilling sacrifices. The villagers are forced to transform into these grotesque monsters called Shibito, sentient, hostile, immortal, decaying corpses controlled by a hive mind who are aware but unable to resist the collective will and hunt survivors relentlessly. And don't think for even a second that is going to help you. If you perish by your own hands to try and escape the horrors of Haneda, you're doomed to become a Shibito anyway. If you are not infected, you will eventually, because the source of the disease comes from the red water, which has replaced all the water supply in Haneda. So basically you're just doomed for an eternity of suffering. Wrong place at the wrong time, I guess. My Hero Academia. My Hero Academia is a manga/anime/game series created by Kohei Horikoshi, and the story is set in a world where more than 80% of the population has some sort of uncanny power or ability called a quirk. With the rise of quirks came the rise of villains, and with the rise of villains came the rise of a new profession called pro-heroes, who are responsible for keeping the people and the world safe. Sweet premise, right? But just imagine being a completely normal person in this universe for just a second. It sucks. Your home, your family, and even your job could be compromised in the incident of a hero or villain fight, and you yourself could be compromised to either a cult or the death at the hands of a villain, and you aren't even assured if your death is going to be a quick or painful one. And don't even get me started on the quirkless discrimination in the series. Although it's never explored, though we wish it was, thank God we have AO3 for that, it is apparent that discrimination against people who are quirkless is rampant, with the majority rarely getting anything other than an entry-level job should they happen to be miracled with a job, and the majority die through quirkicide or even past the age of 20. It's a bleak world when you get past the shonenness of it all, man. Gotham City. For those of you who may not be aware to what Gotham City is, despite it being a character in and of itself in the DC universe, Gotham City is a fictional area and the secondary main character in the northeastern part of the United States, where the majority of the stories and comics of DC Comics are set in, with the most popular hero of the city being Batman. It is a crime-infested city, and it sucks here being a hero or a villain, and especially a regular citizen here. You live in what is essentially a running gag. Your protector puts the city's terrorists behind bars, the aforementioned terrorist breaks out, wreaks havoc and catastrophe over his stupid belief that could be broken down by a lot of different characters, only to be taken down by the hero and put back in jail to break out, and the cycle repeats. Minecraft. Didn't really think Minecraft would be on this list, did you? The world is nothing but silence above silence. It is an infinite purgatory where nothing ever develops, and the only one with any mind to do anything is you. You are utterly alone in a world with no purpose other than to survive against relentless respawning horrors like the self-exploding creepers, the soul-eating endermen, the blaze demons, resources that are constantly scarce, death being a constant, and the environment doesn't protect your sanity as it isn't even beautiful, and the crippling silence will destroy you. What is even worse is the knowledge that you yourself are trapped in an endless loop. You die, you respawn, you rebuild and regain only to lose everything and start from scratch. There are no answers and there are no gods here, just a crushing isolation of an indifferent, procedurally generated world disguised as a sandbox. Now imagine just being a regular villager here. You wake up, make food, go to work, come back to your spouse and kids and want to wind down, and then this random stranger with legendary loot and the abilities of God runs in, steals your food, and kidnaps your neighbors into slave labor. And sometimes they even bring a horde of zombies to infect everyone or force you all into their playground of madness. And last, but certainly not least, Brave New World. The novel takes place in the world state of London, where people are engineered through artificial womb into predetermined castes based on intelligence and labor. Some embryos are optimized or made increasingly imperfect based on the planned roles of Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta, or at the bottom of the hierarchy, the Epsilon, who are menial laborers of limited intelligence. You are kept in a constant state of pleasure through the drug Soma. So think about it. You live in an individualistic society where people are genetically engineered not to care. A world drowned in meaningless sex and drugs and media and music, and everything is interchangeable and completely superficial. You aren't even kept from trying to change anything, it's just that nobody cares. And that's exactly why this world is so much more worse than the world of 1984.